got a haircut today, so
I could tell. Hey, them lines, them edges is fresh though.
oh, the hairline receding a little bit though. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
first part ain't working.
hey, I wasn't gonna say that, but since you brought it up, hey, I wasn't gonna be the one to say that, but since you brought it up,
Yeah.
hey, the mic on your headphones, is it turned down? Because I got a little echo.
Oh, shit, yeah, baby, baby, baby. All right, I turned down my echo on my thing.
All right, you ready?
That should that should take. Yeah, we should be good now.
All right, welcome to Relationship Talk with Juanito. I am Coach Juan Robinson, and today we are with
The one
Big
and only.
G. Big G, say what's up.
Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, turn your mic up.
Hello, hello, hello,
Yep,
hello,
hey, that's
everyone.
better.
Gotcha.
Hey man, so how you been?
Oh man, been pretty good, man. Feeling a little better. You know what I'm saying? Physically. So everything's starting to move in that direction. Uh,
Yeah, turn it up a little bit more.
turn me up, turn me up, turn me up. Hold on, let me adjust my treble a little bit. There we go. But yeah, um, feeling a little bit better. Hoping everything's moving. This old age is messing with me, but I'm feeling better.
Yeah, hey, we were supposed to do a podcast last week, but whew,
You
I
got that
had the
Ebola.
I I had the flu last week, and your boy was down for the count for real. I started feeling sick on Sunday evening. Like I felt great Sunday, all of Sunday, and then like 8:30 at night, I started feeling sick. And from Sunday to Friday, I didn't sleep almost at all. Like I was getting like 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And it wasn't until Saturday night that I actually got a full night's rest. So when I say your boy was down bad, I was down bad.
Okay, that flu has caught everybody. I had a couple of people up here with me caught that flu.
Yeah, I'm still at probably about 75%.
That's
But
good. That's good.
hey, listen, I had to use the rest of my sick leave so I could be off at home.
So y'all considered government employees too?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a GS
Oh, you're GS
employee.
too?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that. I just thought you was one of those. Um,
What you thought I was a contractor?
no, 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 no. Definitely wasn't a contractor. But um, you was one of those W WG workers there. They because you said you work with. You know what I'm saying? How you
Oh, yeah,
explained your
yeah,
job,
yeah.
you say because you work with and stuff. So I was thinking you one of them wage grades workers, them WGs.
Nah. But
Okay.
hey man. So uh I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant.
It's rent.
And you jump in how you see fit, and then we'll actually get into the topic a little bit before um and we'll get it into the actual topic a little bit later. Hey, so I was online and listen, I be searching for different things to learn about the way people think, the way that people move, the way that people act in regards to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I keep coming across is that, and this is gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna say it because I don't really care. A lot of women give other women bad advice, and
Hello? You done froze up on me. You done froze up on me, Playboy. Okay, now you're back.
okay, I don't know what just happened.
Hey, you
I'm
froze
on
up on me,
I'm on here talking, and then it just shut down on me.
baby. Yeah, I messaged you. I said, hey, you froze on me.
Hey, what's the last thing you heard?
A lot of women give bad advice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so a lot of women give bad advice to other women, calling
Hmm.
themselves life coaches, right? And I understand if the advice that you're getting, I don't what I find that they do is that they give a lot of negative advice, right? Play into their emotions, play into their trauma, play into the feelings that they have that they want validated, right? Because they
Right,
know that it's gonna drive an audience, it's gonna drive clicks, it's gonna drive views. And there's a lot of women doing this, right? And then they'll get on there. Like I seen a clip today of a woman, she got on there and basically told everybody, I say the things that I say so that I can get clicks and views because that's what you guys tend to respond to.
yes,
And so I dropped in the comments, I'm like, cool, if what you want to do is get clicks and views, then have at it. But if you really are trying to, if you really calling yourself a life coach, um, you shouldn't be going after clicks and views. You should be putting out information that's gonna help somebody. It ain't gotta
yeah,
help everybody, but it's gotta help somebody, right? And it should be beneficial to drive them towards a meaningful, successful relationship.
right.
But that's not the case because it's like I get in there and I listen to these things, and half the time I be wanting to drop down in the comments. I see that on some of them you be in the comments, and I'm like, well, he
I
done
told you
already
I'm
said
in I'm in
so.
the swamp. I be in the swamp, baby.
I was like, he had already said some things that I might have already been thinking, right? So I was like, all right, I ain't gonna comment on that one.
Yeah.
Um, but it just kind of goes back to the old saying, right? And it's always the single ones, always the
Exactly.
single ones, right?
Exactly.
And it goes back to the old the not the old saying, but the more recent saying that single women keep other women single.
Hmm.
And I'm just I'm sitting there and I'm like, you guys are just making things worse. You're
Hmm.
just driving more division between men and women, in particularly between black men and black women.
Hmm.
And you guys aren't really providing a solution, but you call yourself solution oriented people.
Yeah.
Or
Um,
one of the hold on before you jump in, or they get on social media and say the dumbest shit.
yeah.
Like there was one chick, she put in there, ladies, stop effing broke men. And I put in the comments, I said, I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Is this really something that needs to be stated? Like if you don't, that I feel like that's common sense. But if you don't have the common sense to know that, then
Mhm.
maybe you should just stay in that lane. Stay over there with them. Stay over there with the brokies. Because obviously you ain't got enough
Facts.
common sense to get with somebody who got something going on for their life.
Well, we had a similar discussion about these things with women. Women are very transactional. They're transactional with men, and they definitely transactional with other women. Women will uh, attack their young, their children, all in the effort to be right. I had to try to think about that because I didn't want to say anything vile about women. But they will attack their young. They will throw their young to the side, all in the effort to be right. Um, Now, they don't want to be right in the manner of how things should be. They just want to be right. And that's the evolution of a conversation with a man. Men, we try to logically think about things and converse. Women converse to be right. And so when they say that they make these little statements and clickbait, um, it's an ecosystem of I'm going to get you on my side for monetary gain. It's content and and it's just there. It's just there. They think that it's a thing about support, but when it's not, because they leave that support after they go and say, "Good job, sis," blah blah blah, sis. Then they turn around and talk about sis's appearance. You hear it. I know you hear it because I hear it. But they don't. They want to throw a front up that they are united when they're not. Women want to use other women, and they understand that. Hey, I have an avenue to get two things: a little fame, and hopefully a little monetary gain. So if I just give women something to argue about, they're gonna take it because here's the evidence of that. I have seen on many YouTube channels where women just talk about their girl trips, and it goes bad. It goes real bad. Now y'all big upping each other on these Instagram. You're lying to each other, talking about how this it looks and all this other stuff. But then when they go off by themselves on these girls trips, it goes bad. You seen the ones where somebody done killed one of the girls, they done jumped on one of the girls. This always ends in a fight. They always end in a yelling. They always something always goes wrong. But they support one another. They tell each other when they right, when they know they wrong. But it happens. I was looking at one a couple of weeks ago. Girl goes on a trip with her friend. So I said, hey, we gonna upgrade the cabins on the cruise. Well, when they get to the boat, they realize, hey, I thought we upgraded. We're gonna send her back her money. She said, okay, turn around again. Hey, want to do this here at the club. I want to go do this here. Argument started happening. A fight in the room happened. One of them got arrested. So women understand that, hey, let me say things to other women in a false pretense of being, I support you, I stand with you. But with one another, they are very vile individuals. They are.
Yeah, I've seen some other posts that kind of validate that. There was one that I saw where this lady was talking about her and a group of her friends went out to a club somewhere. I think it was maybe in Miami or something like that. and one of her friends was either overweight or not as attractive or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they all of her friends were gonna get into the club, and they wouldn't allow her to get in the club. This, girl that was either overweight or fat or ugly, whichever one it was, I don't really know. But they were gonna make her pay to get into the club, and it was like a couple $100 or something like that, and she ain't had the money like that. And instead of instead of her friends
Chipping in.
being like either chipping in for her to go in, or just being like, we all came together, we all leave together. They sent her back, and they all went into the club. So I mean, I've seen stuff that kind of validates
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
I'm like, that's wild. Number one,
That's
number two,
wild.
if us guys, we would never do no shit like that to each other.
Oh,
Number three is if we did, either we got to fight or we ain't talking no more.
we ain't talking no more.
Like
Clearly,
it's a done deal.
that same scenario when we get to the stunting, because here's how it is with men. We
Obviously,
get to
we
the
don't get in the club for free though.
we don't. But if there was a half of the chance we do, we get to the door, one dude gonna be like, me and my boys. Oh, well, y'all ain't gotta pay. Oh, okay, bam, 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 bam. One dude pay. Hey, when we get in, y'all got the rounds.
Yeah,
You got the drinks. I done paid. Y'all got the drinks.
yeah. It'll in some way we all getting in the club.
We get in the club. We go to a meal. It's us and the bros. One dude gonna pay, and we know we going somewhere else. Oh, I got it, I got it. Boom. All right, when we get to so and so, yeah, you got, yeah, I got you. All right,
Yeah,
that's how our hierarchy works with men, because
yeah.
it's logic. It's logic. You do something this time, I'm gonna do something the next time.
It's kind of weird because like it's funny because my mom got into coaching, right? She got into
Mhm.
coaching because I got into coaching. She was like already doing it because she's in the ministry and stuff like that. So people come to her for advice, and she does mentoring and coaching and counseling and stuff like that. But it was never in a capacity where she had a label like that, and the opportunity to earn money and stuff like that. So when I went through my coaching certification, I got my stuff done. I actually used her as um, one of my clients for some of my coursework, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so that's how she got into it or whatever. So she got her master coaching certification through the company that she went through, and um, she had to do the same thing, right? She had to have clients that helped her with her coursework, right? Because you have to do mock coaching sessions, right?
Mhm.
But you're working with people who have real life situations,
Mhm.
and so you're coaching them to try to get them through their situations. So she said after working with some of the women, because me and her have conversations about relationships and stuff like this. She's actually been on one of my podcasts before. Um, she said, I have come to realize that a lot of women lack accountability.
Yeah.
Like they they want X, Y, and Z, but don't want to do the work. But then when you hold them accountable, it's every excuse under the sun for why that didn't get accomplished. And as a accountability coach, as a when I'm coaching you, it's like if I even mention that or question why what was preventing you from getting it done, it's they get offended.
Mhm.
And so I just found that interesting because that goes right in line with what we were saying. It's like you're out there, number one, you're single, trying to give people advice on how not to be single, which is an irony in itself. Like, if you want to talk about, helping people through trauma and stuff like that, give people with positive advice. But when people are coming at them and coming at these individuals in the comments, they're getting
Mhm.
super defensive. They're like, "Oh well, if you don't want to be if you don't want to hear what I got to say, get off my page and all this other stuff."
Mhm.
And so, let me ask you a question about this. I saw this post yesterday, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to ask G about this." 40-year-old woman posts on Facebook that she really wants to get into a relationship. And she is trying to figure out whether or not she should wait for the guy or settle. If you saw that post on Facebook, what would you say? What would you write in the comments? And then I'll tell you what I
Oh,
would.
snap. What would I write in the comments? Um, my reply would be, uh, because I'm very petty. First, I'm gonna look at profile pictures, and then my first comment gonna be back. Uh, do you visually qualify for the man that you want, or will he be selling? Because women don't understand that. They think that it's all one-sided. And I had this thought in the car, and way to thank you for opening it up. I was thinking to myself how I'm going to in tonight's podcast into this thought, and you just opened that door for me. All right, women truly have a one-sided picture of this dating thing, and what they do is because accountability, they're always going to preference it when they know they don't qualify or they don't stand a chance with a man. They're always going to preference everything the man I want. So when they're not selected, what can they say?
They didn't get the man that they wanted.
No, no. Why? Because they didn't want him.
Oh, okay, got it.
You see what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah.
that's the thing they're always going to say. I can get any man I want. When they don't get a man, they always fall back on that because they're going to say, I didn't want him. So in some ways, women play the game a little smart because if you always throw it out there about anything I want, you can always fall back on I because I didn't want that. And so that'll be my first statement to ask you, do you visually qualify for him? Because you know what I'm saying, you might not qualify for him. Then I already know if I want him, I could have got him. So we're gonna have that little statement. My second statement would be, well, ma'am, 40. At some point, you wanted somebody, and obviously they didn't want you.
So you just go for the juggler,
Yeah,
huh?
I don't. I had a simping past. I was like some of these guys in the, ooh, you fine, baby. I did a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right after I got divorced, and I was out there trying to simp hard. And there's nothing wrong with simping for the right one. But me and we tend to simp for everybody. And you can't do that. You can't simp for every female that's on the gram. You can't simp for. But that's what we do. We get on there and we get to sip. I showed you and you start sticking in the comments. Girl will post a picture. Now these guys know damn well they ugly. They gonna never ever have a chance with these women. Ooh, baby, you're so fine. I just want to take you out. Here's my number. You just be like, what? But
I see this one today. Do I have permission to DM you?
yes, yes.
I
You
was
better
like,
off just you better off just hitting the DM without saying all that.
yeah. I saw that one dead. I started laughing. All right, so my approach, which I actually did get in the comments.
Ah,
Okay. So my approach is very different from yours. Yours is kind of confrontational.
very. I want the smoke.
So I got in the comments, I said, first question I have is, what the hell does it mean to settle? I was like, a lot of y'all get on here and things, talk about things that you want that are really insignificant in wanting to be in a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting to get married, you're wanting to have a long-term boyfriend or whatever it is, but yet you're focused on things that don't really matter. And if you're unable to obtain it, you call it you classify it as settling. What happened to finding somebody who makes you better and you make them better? What happened to finding somebody who is is either a good father or has the potential to be a good father? How about finding somebody who has character? Maybe not, he may not be all the way there, but you can see that he's making strides, or maybe he is all the way there. What happened to finding somebody who is just a good fit for you? And whether they got it all together or not is irrelevant. And then I posted and I was like, I never envisioned myself being with a woman like my wife. I didn't. It was not in the cards, or at least not in my cards. But I met her, I got to know her, and turns out she's a good fit for me. And we've been married for 6 years. And so if I was going off of what I wanted, she wouldn't have been on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
But she was attractive when I saw her. Well, actually, we met online first. But she had some attractive pictures. And then when I met her in person, she was attractive. But let's be real, dating a black girl wasn't on my bingo card
Mm-hmm.
because I had bad experiences with them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never one to be like, oh well,
I'm gonna
I
give up.
just won't give them a shot. It just
Yeah.
wasn't I was actively pursuing. You
So.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they showed interest in me, I'd give them a shot. She showed
Like
interest.
like me. That's right.
Yeah, like who like me. So if a person that has 80% of what you want,
Mm-hmm.
if you find that person and they don't have the other 20, is that settling?
That's how G.I. Joe used to say. That's half the battle. I'm all about for dubs and wins, baby. That's a win. But
So what is settling?
but see, that goes back to the video you shared with me. You know what I'm saying? Women, this new age women, they They want all the sixes, like you say.
Hold on, but she ain't new age though. She my age.
She our age, but that's what I'm saying. But that's how impressionable the old. There's no old women OGs for these young. Ooh, I'm about to say the H word. There's no. There's no old women OGs for these women now. And the OGs that are out there, they're saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna stay to myself because these women are not listening anyway." And when I get in these comments and I be chatting to them, I tell them, "Look at your granddaddy, baby. Uh, yeah, your granddad is not the most handsomest lookingest man, but your grandmama fine. And you here now via your mama. Did your grandmama settle? Is your granddaddy a product of settling? No, he's a product. He showed your grandmother something that was beneficial for her life. A man that's going to work hard, that's going to take care of everything around the house, who's going to provide for her, going to make sure she's well taken care of, going to give her children so she could be a grandmother, everything that she needed in life. But because now you're so bent up on this, anything you can do, I can do better. So now that I'm I'm what you call educational wise better than you, I need a man here. Well, those men there say you don't qualify. They don't want you. It's ironic, isn't it? You're there. You're better than me. You got more education than me. You got more debt than me. You got more problems than me. Because they're really now turning men into sponsors. That's what they want. And if they can't get a sponsor, and after they hit their 40s and 50s, that's when they're settling talk. Well, I'll just settle. No, you're not settling. You're actually in your visual marketplace, and that's where you're at. But they don't want to believe that.
I mean, let's excuse me. Let's go beyond the whole visual aspect because as you get older, that kind of becomes irrelevant.
It does. It does. It does.
You know, it,
But that's where they land. You see what I'm saying? When you in your when you when you in your 50s and you know that they look in that mirror and they see and and in their mind they're telling themselves, I gotta get a man before so and so's happen because I know I look at my mom, I know how this is going to end. So when they're talking about settling, they're talking about their visual marketplace where they need to get somebody before it all because they want to relax. Because at the end of the day, what happens when we get old on? We put on weight, things sag for men and women. We do.
is that why my nuts hanging on the floor?
That's why. We call that dropping. The old man
I'm
used to
just
say, boy, they
kidding.
drop.
I'm just kidding.
No, but yeah, things start to sag. Things start to not be in place anymore. But the testosterone for men, we can uplift a little bit longer than women. That's why. So we can go in and get shots in the ass, get a little testosterone boost, go in and hit the gym, we can pump this shit back up a little bit. They can't do that. But so they have to get into this and they realize because they know men want a pretty thing. That's why they fight the fight. Why you want to go and get a younger woman? Well, several things. I know as I get older, she's still gonna maintain her beauty. So I have a symbol on the side of my arm to when they start talking about why you want to mold somebody. Well, that's what you do. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You mold. You want people to fit you. If I can have someone that I can, just like she's training me how to treat her. That's what you're doing when you dating these guys out there. You're trying to train them to how to date you. Hey, I need flowers. I need you to open my car door. I need to you need to show me that you're going to be here for me. I need you to do you're molding a man. That's what you're doing. That is exactly what you're doing.
You know, a
So a
lot of
man,
them don't, sorry to cut you off. You know, a lot of them don't think about it that way.
they don't. They don't because it's logical because they're emotional. It's an emotional reaction about everything. That's why a woman will give up their life over an emotional reaction. Okay, I don't want to be here anymore. Damn, it's just that easy. That's why I be in them comments and I tell men, you see how, and they have every right to leave, fellas. They exact. And when a woman feel like something is wrong, they have every right to leave. So don't you feel mad when she gets big? You leave. Do exactly what they do to you. If they feel like you're not emotionally there for them anymore, they have every right to leave a situation that they do not. And so when you feel like she's gotten to that mark in your mind that she's away and then she's not taking care, leave. You can leave. What this is showing you, men, is that if they can leave, you can leave. But that's the conversation they don't want to have. Why do you got to leave? Well, why do you have to leave? Because a man stop coming. You know the man loves you. He take care of you. But because he's not bowing down to you, showering you with gifts and stuff every day, he's not validating your emotional complex that you got from your friends. If your man not doing this here, girl, what do you mean? Clock it, T. If he's not doing none of that for you, they telling you to leave. But he's doing it. He's coming home. He's providing you with a place to stay where you don't have to really do nothing. And even if you're contributing some, look how much you're saving, contributing some other than paying it all. But that cat in their head, because they get this bad advice telling you what not to do. Well, why are they telling you why they not telling you what to do? Why is that not the conversation? They give you all the information about what you shouldn't take and what you should not do for a man. Well, ask those same people, well, tell me what I should do to get a man.
Because they don't know either.
They don't know.
And it if you ever want to see the perfect example of that,
Hmm.
watch watch, watch eight at the table. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah,
That chick Jada on there,
yeah.
she is the worst example of someone you should follow. And the other girl, I don't know what her name is, the one with the short hair. She ain't got it either. The married one, she a little different, but to each his own. Like clearly her husband rocked with her.
Hmm.
But I it's funny you said that and it made me think of them because there was a question that they asked on one of their episodes, and I kind of want to ask you now that I thought about it and get your thoughts. Who in a relationship? should love the other person more? Should the man love the woman more, or should the woman love the man more? And why?
Oh man, that was a good question that they did that. That was a good question, but it's to me, it's the woman should love the man more. Why? Because that's her DNA. She's the nurturer. She's the person with her love. She can move mountains. She can have a man go out there and do anything that she wants because that's all men are searching for. Because that's all we get out of a relationship. We don't really get too much from a relationship. It's God is on his name Big Man. He has a conversation, a podcast. He talked about it. There's a viral clip that went around, and he's talking with a woman, and he's telling what do he said. We get into a relationship because love, because it's must. That's we must love you to get into a relationship because what else do we get from you in a relationship? What else do we get from a woman in a relationship if it ain't just love? You as a woman, you get money, you get protection, you get validation. What else do we get from a woman? It's love. Yeah, we might mess up a few times, and you might see some men that 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 goes out and gallivant a little bit, but there's a reason because there are men who like, okay, should I go get me another woman? Cut you off. Boom, gone. But there are those men that be like, God damn it, okay, yeah, that's my baby. I know I fucked up. I know I messed up. That's my baby. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's an issue with them. It's emotionally draining with them. But it happens. What the woman should love more because that's what a man from your love, you are motivation. If I know my woman loves me, I don't mind taking these 14, 15-hour shifts. I know my woman loves me. She's gonna appreciate me when I get home. If I know my woman loves me, when someone tries to disrespect her, I'm gonna make sure I remove her from that situation by removing or however we're going to take it. But I'm going to put myself in front to protect her that she has no hurt, harm, or danger if my woman loves me. If my woman loves me, even though that I do wrong, I have that correction into me to correct it and make it right because my woman loves me. So that's the answer to that.
Interesting. Interesting answer there, sir. Mine is going to be a little bit more simpler than that. So, in a situation, in a relationship where the man is a faithful, good, quality man that it is faithful, doesn't cheat, doesn't do anything wrong. You're absolutely right. The woman should love the man more. And the reason why is because she has way more avenues than he does for an out. There are way more men that will try to approach her, try to separate her from you, try to dig himself, put a wedge in between you and her,
Hmm.
especially if she's attractive. But even if she ain't attractive, there's still guys that will try. And so her love has to be more for you in order for the her attention, her eyes, how she sees other guys
Hmm.
to be squarely on you
Hmm.
because of the fact that she's going to have way more temptation and way more opportunity to pursue other individuals. And so if she loves you more than you love her, she her focus and attention is always going to remain on you.
Now, you said if he done everything right. Okay, I can see that. But just say he's not faithful. Do you know that most men don't really have seen love, have ever seen love, and that come from his mother. That come from anything because he's probably haven't had too many relationships to where he was in a relationship with someone. He wasn't taken advantage of. Uh, so I will rebut that a little bit and say that that man needs love too because he probably never ever had love. And so when you love him, because Big Mama loved Granddad, we know we and this is and not to slight anything, but in a very high number household, if your granddad is over 65 years old, granddaddy probably had another family on the other side of town. Big Mama still loved him. Big Mama still loved him. She also loved that baby that came with him. And so you can't say that just because if he does everything right, because a man is gonna
I,
mess up.
hold on, I didn't say that.
You said if,
I
if he,
didn't.
stays faithful, he
No,
stays,
no, I didn't say stays faithful. I said
if
if
okay,
if he. Well, I was setting the parameters around who this guy is, right?
okay,
Meaning he's the most ideal guy
okay,
that would be the absolutely dream guy that every girl could potentially want. He maxes out on all qualities. Even if that is the dynamic,
mhm,
she has him. She still has to love him more.
okay, okay. I see the picture you're talking about now. I got you.
Now, the you are a guy that is screwing up, it becomes harder for her to love you more.
Yeah.
And even if you're not screwing up, even if you just kind of slacking off or not putting in as much effort, right? You ain't doing nothing wrong. You ain't out there cheating or anything like that, but you just not, maybe you getting lazy in your effort, or maybe you not, trying to elevate, right? Because us guys, we always got to be trying to elevate, at least
Hmm.
till you get to a point to where you just can't no more.
Yeah.
Um, then in that way, you could potentially start to erode away her love for you, because then it's like you're not keeping it going, you're not keeping the sparks, you're not doing the thing that she finds attractive in you.
Okay.
And so, but
But
if you're
shouldn't
a
she do the
guy that,
same thing for a man?
huh?
But shouldn't she do the same thing for the man?
That wasn't the topic of the conversation. We talking about loving who's supposed to love more, right?
But love, if she, because you're going to have those lows in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where her love needs to kick in a little bit more to get him through those times where he's maybe not sure. Because if a woman can make a man do anything, a good woman, let me say that, not just say a woman. A good woman that's rooted in what she needs to be in womanhood, she can make a man do anything.
Yeah,
Anything.
we're saying the same thing.
But you're saying, what if he gets a little lower and everything, so he has to put, no. When he gets a
No,
little low,
what I'm
love
saying
him more.
that's not so this is what I'm saying. If you get down, you can't stay down.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're so for example, guy loses his job,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
lose your job, you got one or two options to what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You can get out there immediately, start looking for another job, and depending on regardless of however much time it takes you, you're actively looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be like, all right, babe, you got it. I'm gonna sit on the couch and play video games. So if you're that guy
Mm-hmm.
that is actively looking for a job and you're putting in that work, you're taking interviews, you're filling out applications, you're updating your resume, and you're putting in that work. Your your length
Yeah.
is extended because she sees that you're doing work. Like you're not just, but that guy who's like, oh, I lost my job, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and play video games.
Yeah.
He has a very short leash before that love that she has for him starts to look to other places. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally get it. I
It's
get it.
it's based off of his effort. So like when I retired from the military and I didn't have a job,
Mm-hmm.
I was spending 8 hours a day filling out applications, updating my resume. Which, dude, side note, that's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
I think I filled out like 250 applications. And I had 50 different versions of my resume, which I don't even know why you should have to do that. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Another rant another time.
So, um, when I didn't have a job, my
Yeah.
wife was giving me her paycheck. She had no problem doing it because she saw I was putting in the work, right? And then when I wasn't doing that, I was driving for Lyft or driving for Uber. Figured out, so I would drive for 12 hours, come home, spend 8 hours doing resumes and applications.
Uh-huh.
If I had to do that for a year, I would have been good doing it for a year because my wife wouldn't have lost any love for me because she saw that I was doing the work.
Uh-huh.
But if I was just like, all right, babe, hey, have fun at work on the playing what's college game day on the
PlayStation.
PlayStation. How long you think that would have lasted before she would be like, all right, you got two options. Either you gonna get out there and do some work or I'm gone.
And and the sad thing about that is you're right. Um, that's just that's just how it is. The sad thing about that is a woman will be out there on the street and follow a man everything and everywhere and do exactly what he need while they homeless and living out there on the street. You see it and you think to yourself, why is she following this man and he's homeless and they pushing his cart, but she's right there. She go out there and get a little money. She bring it back home to him. We both finna get something to eat. He go out and get a little bit of money. We both finna get out and eat. But soon as there are major dollars in the fact, it's one got to do other and it's usually the man. And if he can't sustain it, I'll move on to another man. It's sad. because we say if we get married, and even if you offer yourself into a relationship with someone that you're going to be with for a long time, even though that you're not saying death do us part and for better or for worse, you still living by those premises in your relationship because you don't want nobody to cheat. You want to say you say you're going to do any and everything for that person, so you still living by the premises of a matrimonial ceremony. You just haven't done it, and I hit my lowest, and that's a timetable for me to get out my lowest. But woman hit her lowest, you know what I'm saying? We have to stand there. Don't just throw her to the wolves. She has no timetable. Well, if we are a team and how a team's supposed to act, it doesn't matter how long. I should. I'm down. You got it, because when you was down, I had you. But that's just how I think about things. It's sad that a woman on the street with nothing shows more loyalty than a woman on the street who has everything and her partner has everything, but he loses a little bit. You got a timetable. That right there is the answer to where there's no love no more. That right there is the answer to why we've just come up to the reason why that there's and why relationships are not really seen, because there's no thick and thin anymore. It's very transactional now. There's no thick and thin. It's just I'm going to be with you. Why are you good? When you're not good, I'm gonna give you a little time to correct yourself. But if you don't correct yourself, I'm gone.
But where do
That's
you
not for
think that
better,
where do you think
huh?
that comes from though? So you think about it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about marriage. In an ideal situation,
Mm-hmm.
when you get married, you ask the father for his daughter's hand in marriage. He
Mm-hmm.
says, "I like you. Cool. I'm with it." The wedding ceremony, father walks his daughter up. He gives her hand over to you, which signifies I am handing over the responsibility for my daughter to you.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is, now I'm gonna preface it by saying this. I don't disagree with what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
That if we gotta live in a cardboard box together, we should be able to live in a cardboard box together. I don't recommend it, but we should be able to do that, right? Because we have that level of love and affection for each other. But with that being said, by me accepting that exchange, I am
Mm-hmm.
telling him that I am I am going to take on the responsibility of the role that you had up until this point. I am going to take care of your daughter. And so that in itself is a responsibility that a man has to take on. And so you have to always be keeping that in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we all understand that things happen, right? Especially in today's wild economy, people are getting laid off left and right, boom, boom, boom. You always got to keep in mind that you have that responsibility that I told her dad that I'm going to do whatever it takes to take care of his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, she probably has a bit of a princess complex, right?
Okay. Okay.
And how many princesses want to be out on the street? They want to be up in the castle.
I ain't.
And
Okay.
so I think that dynamic right there
Mm-hmm.
Like when you actually pull back and you think about it, it's like that's how we get into these situations where it's like as soon as you fall on hard times, if you on hard times too long, they're like, hey, look, princess got to be up in the castle, can't be out there in the street in the cardboard box.
Let me interject that. That probably started, we'll say probably around the 80s. Um, Sharecropping on Mr. Johnson's sharecropping, he kicks everybody off. Yeah, you told her daddy that you was gonna take care of her, but what you did, y'all got in that horse and buggy, and y'all slept in that horse and buggy until you found another way. No matter how long it took, she was right there. When we was going through the dogs and stuff getting sick on everybody and the hard times of the 1920s when everybody was kicked out there on the street, you made that same promise to her dad when he walked it down the aisle. She didn't turn off that love for you. She stood right by you. I seen a video of a young man probably about 2, 3 years ago. He went to his mama house. Mama didn't like his woman. And so she said that he could stay, but she couldn't. Nah, we not doing that. If my woman can't stay, we good. We in this car together. So that princess treatment circumvents once it makes my point. When you have, when you have, when you don't have, you're willing. Yeah, Mr. Johnson kicked everybody out the sharecropping farm. I promised Mr. Owensby that I was gonna take care of his daughter. I was gonna make sure she did everything right by me. But
Why are
Mr.
you
Johnson
talking
told
like that?
Mr. Johnson told me that I gotta get off his phone. So we packed up everything we put on the horse and carriage, and we moved. She was right there. She was cooking food in the wilderness for us until we got it right. So it's this new age stipulations that we've been putting on love, and that's where it happens. So once again, you change we have changed the dynamics of how things are supposed to be in a relationship to benefit and fit the woman, but we haven't changed the dynamics for the man.
So I'm so glad that you brought that up because you know what? It goes right into my video. It goes right into my video. All right, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna waste no time. Cause why? Hey, I'm gonna get right on it while the getting is good.
goodness good.
Amazing. Like he's amazing emotionally, physically. Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times.
Damn.
But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown, and I just want to know, like, how long.
Tell me more about this 24 grown. That's not me talking, that's the crowd. So what's your question?
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
This saying. And you don't feel appreciated. Can't win.
This is at the point that we have to acknowledge people's capacities. Because while you were in your season of being taken care of, he was the one doing the nursing back to health, right? And he could probably still be trying to regain his capacity for himself after spending his year taking care of you. And as you've gotten able to be better and, oh, I feel better now, I want to go on dates, he's trying to process what he just went through. So instead of you saying, how do I get to the space of me feeling appreciated, what have you done to show appreciation to your man for just nursing you back to health?
You said that you're 24 and you're grown, right? I think this is exactly where you showing your age at. I want to offer that you learn the signs of a good man. Because if you don't, You will become an of-age, mature woman that looks back at him and his wife and his family, and you say, I really done.
Before I got into podcasting, I was a registered nurse. And I'm going to tell you, the idea of love that we have in our youth is not real love. That love where that person is incapacitated, can't wipe themselves, but that partner is there every single day hitting that call light, making sure I bring that meal, watching me wipe and say, you know what, you're not doing it right. Let me step in and do it. That idea of love you got exposed to at 24. You live long enough, you will outlive your money and your house and those cars. And sometimes your children, they get their own lives. They move to different places and ain't nobody there to take care of you but that woman you treated right or that man you treated right. And I want you to just think about that right now before you make any kind of decisions, because you got a man that showed you very own that he's willing to do that.
You need to search up his rebuttal. The man that she's talking about, search his rebuttal after the show, and we'll come back to that next week.
Oh, there's a rebuttal?
He has a rebuttal.
Oh, okay. But, okay, so, all right. If I was up on that stage, I would tell her, she got one of three things that's going to happen. Or one of three things have got to happen. Number one, she's got some trauma somewhere that she need to deal with. So she need to seek therapy. That's option number one. Number two, she need to come get some coaching from me. Because in her mindset right now, she don't understand. If that's not an option for her, the third option is leave that man alone. Let him go. Because you don't have the requisite tools in your arsenal to deal with somebody like that. And all you gonna do is destroy a good man.
Yep.
And you gonna destroy him and turn him into a fuckboy that every other woman after you is gonna have to deal with the pieces that you have destroyed. The pieces of him that you have destroyed. So that would be what I would say. Let that man go because you ain't got it.
I would tell her, look here, mama.
I already know it's about to be something real petty.
Nah, matter of fact, I wouldn't even address her. I would have looked into the camera. Young man, after you did what you did for her to have a inkling of thought, what about me? With over the past you have made it all about her. Because I don't care what nobody say. To wipe somebody's ass, that's love. Why do we wipe our baby's ass because we love them? We got to get that up off. But to wipe a grown person's ass, that's love. And right then and there, in front of people she don't know, she has shown you her, like the woman said, her capacity is not there for you. You're never going to win. You're never going to win because you made it about her and she still wasn't satisfied.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she's
let
never
that
gonna
man go.
Brother, you take yourself. You got a baby, you go down there and you put yourself on child support. Here's $400 a month. That $400 a month is cheaper than the stuff that you're going to have to go through and pay for later. You've gotten off light at $400, or however much you feel comfortable giving your baby, the woman of your child, the mother of your child.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Just go back to what both you and I said. That is a perfect example of why a woman needs to love a man more than he loves her.
You're right.
Big G, tell them where they can find you.
Big G, baby. What's Wednesdayism? Instagram, Wise and Smart 22. Yeah, we we had a nice little conversation on yesterday. Um, was talking about accountability for men and women and stewards of young people. So one, if I can get maybe 3 minutes real quick. Uh, got a little something to say, get off my chest. And on Wednesdayism, this week we talked about uh, with our young people and who we allow to guide our young people. Uh, one of my many hustles is I'm a high school basketball official, and I was involved in something on the Tuesday night that was very horrible to me. Uh, but the coach on the sideline of young men who who was just out of pocket, we'll say that. And then it went from him to the kids, then from the kids to the parents in the stands. And we as adults, we as parents, but I'm speaking to the adults first, not the parents, the people. There's a privilege and an honor to be given the duty, title, the responsibility to guide a young person's life. And you must uphold that with honor. You must uphold that with pure dignity, because you are a secondary outside of the tutelage that they're receiving from their mother and father. So if you do not hold those principles in you, young men and young women, out, you know what I'm saying, as a coach, as a mentor, as anybody, you should not do that. You should give that job to someone who's gonna cherish that, because that's an honor. Parents, you must you must vet, you must research, you must do homework, you must do anything that you need to do as a parent to ensure that the person that you're sending your child with align with your values. And because these people that our kids, because we're parents, they tend to, what we say go in one ear, goes out the other. But these people who out in the world can probably be saying the same thing, but they'll take it better from them than they would us, because we're parents. We don't know no better. But you need to ensure that the person that you're allowing be an influence on your child, i.e., as a coach, aligns with what you align with. Because what happened to me, what I was a part of on Tuesday, is very sickening. One, as an official. Two, black man. Three, a human being. And the ironic part, they were aligned, but they were aligned in the wrong direction. And these parents and these coaches failed these young men on Tuesday night. So again, accountability. You are someone who's has the opportunity to guide other people's children and they entrust you. You must do that with honor. Parents, it's your responsibility to ensure that the person that has that time with your child align with the values that you set forth for your child. That was Wednesdayisms. And that was here with us tonight. I just wanted to make that clear again. And once again, you can find me at Wise and Smart 22 on Instagram. Every Wednesday we drop a Wednesdayism. And yeah, that's me, Big G.
Well, man, hey, sorry you had to have that experience. As a former football coach. I know exactly what I've had my own experiences like that. So well said. Where we at on the podcast, man?
I had a little setback. I'm waiting for all my stuff to come in. I thought I was gonna be able to get some stuff in my new headphones and everything, but uh, definitely,
Coming soon.
definitely, definitely at the end of this month, first part of March, is definitely because everything should be here. Yeah,
All
but
right.
we do have the treatment already planned out, written. So first show we're gonna roll through smooth.
All right, cool. Well, if you want to reach out to me, my information is down in the description. And just for everybody's information, I just released a free ebook that is available to download. The link will be in the description. It is titled Rebuilding Trust Brick by Brick: Healing After Betrayal. This is one of my many ebooks that I'm putting together now. But this one I'm going to be giving away for free. So you can click the link in the description, type in your name and your email address, hit the download button, and you'll be able to download that for free. So with that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, pin to the notification, and share. Make sure that you get in the comments and let us know what you thought about what we were talking about. If you have any insights, if you disagree or agree with what we said, get in there in the comments and start a dialogue, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. With that being said, I am Coach Juan Robinson. That is Big G. Make sure to remember to align your life, lead with purpose, and always keep God first. Y'all be safe.